Lokesh. I'm here to present my book, Start With Why. The book was written by Simon Sinek. See, in the world, there are so many organizations, so many sectors, medical or education, so many things is there. But the things some is to be a winner or someone to be a loser is some things belongs to be the set of minds. Right? See, first of all, he takes Martin Luther King as a leader, right? In America, there are so many of leaders, and some of the leaders are born with a silver spoon, but they are didn't get much of popularity or something, right? But the Martin Luther King is said one day we will meet at one day at the full of peoples, right? He said one thing, right? But the so many of peoples are gathered without knowing him. But the content what he's saying is to reach all of the people, right? But we all know Martin Luther King is in black, right? In America, they are opposing the black in some days, right? But the Martin Luther King not announced is just believe that word, we are gathered, right? And that day so many of people like 1 lakh people are gathered. In the sense we see in the 1 lakh people 30% are the whitish, right? In American people also gathered here, and the black people also gathered here. The Martin Luther King didn't say come to the place, right? He just believe that word, the people will come for justice or some truth things, right? He will just say that, but don't push someone to come here. And he didn't say anything. There are so many of whiteys in the golden silver spoon, and so many of leaders, not lead yes, of course, leaders, but the people don't believe them. But the Martin Luther King, the peoples believe them, and the peoples come here, and that belief is something, right? We all know Wright brothers, right? The inventor of plane, right? The same examples, there are so many of professors and lecturers, even Oxford, so many of professors are trying to invent the plane, but they didn't uh, they didn't invite they invented, but they failed. But the Wright brothers, they didn't pass the school education even, right? But they win. How they believe they can build something, they can give to the people. Why the people are even now to going rowing the lake or going in the motorcycle something. But he they believes we can fly like uh, butterflies or sparrow or raven. We can do fly in the sky. Third example is Steve Jobs, right? We all know Steve Jobs, who invented Apple. His thought is different from the people. He thinks what the people didn't want. Why he didn't think about not the perspective of people. He didn't think what we did. He think why we did for the people, for us. Or who are buying? The customers are buying, right? The why we are doing these things, when the people is understand, then automatically people will buy the product, right? The thing that Steve Jobs is understand that day. Now the Apple is the number 1 company of the world, right? What the Simon Sinek is trying to say is, he says the organization or some organization or one leader or a manager is trying to understand the thing what we are doing. The Simon Sneak is trying to say us to in a with a model. Like he said, this is a golden circle. This golden circle had 3 points: why, how, and what. Most of the people thinks in the different way. He put in the why, that the things in the inner part, and the second part is how. Okay, the third part, outer part is what. Most of the leaders or organization, uh, they are looking the point of what, how, and why. The organization or an product producer is think what the product, right? What the product, this is what the product is, we are made to the customers, and how we are made and why we are made. The things, this what, how, and why. The Hornesian thinks like this, but the Simon Sneak says is what is we don't think the perspective of thinking, right? He says why we are doing, how we are doing, what we are doing. Take a product, an Apple. The Steve Jobs is trying to do the best thing for the customers, right? He doing why we are doing, the iPhone, right? Why we are doing and how we are doing what we are doing. The customer don't buy what we are do. Customer buy why we are doing some products, right? The customers always think why you doing that. The customers don't buy what we are do. Why we are do that, they will think and after they will buy, right? The start, the Simon Sneak always said started with why. If you make a product in your organization, start with why. Don't start with what you are doing. Don't start with what we are doing for the customers. Why we are doing. The people thinks always why. If you make an marker, why you are doing that marker in your company. They don't think what this marker suddenly they didn't think what this marker going to do. They think why you are doing that. We don't want to buy that. We have available so many of marker brands in the market, right? The things why you are doing that, why even the organization exists, why that the why things you ask everything in your, if you start a new organization or you start a new product, you ask why. If the customers buy your product, you ask why the organization and the customers believe to buy the product, right? You ask why. If your organization is growing well, then you don't quit that asking why to the customers, but you will continue and you will continue ask why you guys you are buying the product to me. Okay.
How we feel why the product, why then how the product, the people believe why we are doing that product is good or not. The customers is believe that, then the customers don't think how we are how don't think why we are doing. You, the customers is believed you are doing the correct right thing to the customers, then they believed you, and they going to how they see the product. How see the example of Apple. The people believe that Apple is the extraordinary thing, right? They believe that why the purpose even the Apple is doing the right thing or not. The people believe why, the why thing, right? Apple doing what is, Apple is giving a extraordinary ID purpose, or giving a modernist thing, right? They are incredible, right? The Apple is doing that, the to the customers the customers asking why you are doing that, the customers believe the answer, they ask why, then then the customers going to the next purpose, right? How the Apple company product is going to work, right? The product is are getting very valuable, or new features, or accessing very quick access, or how to use the warranty or something. They believe they believe they first trusted the product, and they think about how we can buy, and how the product going to useful for us, it is useful or not, they will think after that why, right?
Hi everyone, I am Gunasegaran. I am doing MBA in Avides Academy of Management. Efficiency is doing things right, but effectiveness is doing the right thing. And my book presentation is Time Management, and the author is Sudhir Dikshit. This book is very useful in our day to day life. We learn a lot of practical knowledge. This book is actually for all people. And I want to say that this book is really good for us. If you follow this book, you will get to know the essential of his time management but life management. This gives you success in everyday and day to day life. I am going to explain 13 principles of time management, but we have to know the three fundamental principles. First, why do we feel there's shortage of time nowadays? Have you ever thought when we feel such a shortage of time nowadays, we often get irritated, provoked, tense, or lose our temper. When we are not able to finish our work on time, we always in a hurry because of lack of time. Due to this, our blood pressure increase, our relationship suffers, our mental balance get disturbed, and sometimes even accident occur. The fact is that shortage of time has become an unpleasant but unavoidable part of our lives. So we have to make our time useful. Time is gold. Time is precious, but we have to learn new things in everyday life. The second fundamental principle is how much time do you actually have? God has best found some with more beauty and some with less, some with one initiate and some with less. Some people have got more wealth and some have got less. But the wonderful thing is that everyone has got the same amount of time. Example 24 hours a day. Time is the only wealth which you cannot deposit in the bank. Passing time is not in our control. It keep on leaking from your hands with each movement of the hands of a clock, which remain in our hands is only how we utilize your time. If you utilize it well, the consequence would be equally good. But if you misuse it, the consequence will be bad. So we have to manage time at good ways. And the third fundamental principle, how precious is your time? Time is the concern of our life. It is the only coin you have, and only you can determine how it will speak or how it will spend. But carefully, lest or let other people spend it for you. It is often said that time is money, but is saying that not completely true. The truth is that this wealth is only prospective wealth or potential wealth. If you utilize your time well, only then you may earn wealth. On the other hand, if you misuse your time, you may lose the prospectus of every money. Do you actually know how much precious or valuable your time is? If not, then use the following formula to know it. The formula is to know the value of time. The value of your 1 hour is equal to your income divided by your working hours. First principle is maintain a logbook of your time. Don't watch the clock. Do what it does. Keep going. Just as you make a budget of your money, make a budget of your time as well. For making a budget, you need to calculate where and how money is being spent. Adopt the same policy in a matter of time. Taking a diary and keep a record of how much time you are spending on which task. Do this for 1 week. This record is called law book in driver paralysis. This is what they used to keep a record of how many kilometers their vehicle has traveled and how much area they have covered. The more accurate you are in recording your entries about time, the more beneficial is it would be for you. Remember another point, because it will give you a successful life when you manage time. Maintain a logbook of your own time in your life. Set a financial goal. It is the goal that shapes the plan. It is the plan that sets the action. It is the action that achieves the result. And it is the result that brings the success. And it is all begin with a simple word called goal. If you don't have any goal, then your success is doubtful. If you don't know where you want to reach and you cannot reach anywhere, being starting a journey, if you don't know where you want to go, you will never reach there. In the same way, you must also know where you want to reach in terms of financial position. Only then you may reach there. If you want to do something in life, keep in mind that you cannot do anything unless you set up a goal. So please everyone has set a goal to achieve your life. And do the most important task first. A wise person does at once what a fool does at last. Both do the same thing, only at different time. Usually our routine is such that whatever risk comes before us, we start doing that. That's why on whole time is spent doing plenty or insufficient tasks. Our important work remains unfinished just because we are lost in doing insufficient thing. An ambitious person should remain alert when it comes to this, because to achieve success it is necessary that important work should be done first. Remember that success is not achieved through insufficient action but thoughts the significant one. You should keep your clear mind and not waste your time in doing unimportant things. So we have to know that what are the tasks we have to do in life. Learn how to delegate work. Time management is actually a problem with most small business owners, as they have to do most of the work themselves. From small things to big things, everything. Nobody can do every work himself herself, but there are a few people who try to do every work themselves. Naturally, they are unsuccessful in the day. So we have to delegate in our work. Work in your prime time. Things which matter most, but never be at the mercy of things which matters least. The cost of advertisement on TV is the highest during prime time. Example 8 to 10 pm. The duration of advertisement is the same, but it cost increase. The remain of the increased price is that it this was if this broadcast during prime time, it is watched by more speculator. But the concept of identify your prime time so that you can make the best use of it. Do your most important or most creative work during this time only so that you can finish them early. Don't waste your prime time during the insufficient task, because you can finish those in your free time also. Organize ourselves. The man who does waste 1 hour of time has not discovered the value of life. Disordered or unorganized life create a lot of problem of us. One of them is that our time gets wasted unwillingly without any reason, and the sad things about it is that somehow we ourselves are responsible for that. So be in organize yourself. Maintain a timetable. Time is what we want most, but want else we were worst. just as it necessary to wastage of money by making the budget. In the same way, it is absolutely necessary to make a timetable in order to less your wastage of time. Your timetable may be two type: complete detailed timetable or brief timetable. For example, 8 hours sleep, 2 hours breakfast, lunch, dinner, tea, coffee, etc. 2 hours for TV, news, magazine, newspaper, etc. 1 hour communicating to and from office, 1 hour social life, 2 hours family life, 8 hours job, business, others work. This is the situation you tell yourself that you would work from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. and from 2 p.m. to 7 a.m. or 8 p.m. Living your life without a plan is like watching television with someone else holding the remote control. Get into action. Footprints on the sands of time are not made by sitting down. You may face failure in spite of making the best plan if you don't implement them. Action is that magic would is bring success to you. If you wish to get success, get impressed in action and keep working till you get successful. If you learn the best use of time, this time will give you the reward which you keenly wishes for, be it honor, success, wealth, happiness, or anything else that you want. So make use of your time a truthful way. If you see a snake, just kill it. Don't appoint a committee on snakes. Fixed deadline. How much time he saves who does not look to see what his neighbor says or does or thinks. Deadline means the maximum time limit. Actually, the word deadline has been derived from the line that was drawn around a jail into olden times. So we have to manage time. So fix deadline to get success in time management. Decide which work is to be done at what time. I learned that we can do anything but we cannot do everything, at least not at the same time. So think of your potentials not in terms of what activity you do, but when you do things, timing is everything. So make use of the time at a right way. Make minimum use of mobile phone. Just think about how many things we do with our phone. We talk on the phone, listen to songs, watch movies. Not only that, we play games and do chatting, visit Facebook, visit Instagram, and everything. So, we have to make a good point that we want to use minimum usage of mobile phone at time management. Avoid laziness. Idleness is the Dead Sea that swallows all visitors. You should avoid being lazy if you wish to save time. Whenever we came across any difficult work, we try to escape it and became logic. But other than we have to avoid laziness in our life to get success in time management and to get success in life. Take advantage of the power of the subconscious mind by planning. When I was a young man, I observed that 9 out of 10 things I did were failure. I don't want to be a failure, so I did 10 times more work. Thank you.
If you ask, suggest me a book for finance they would definitely suggest you this book. Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. Not only regarding finance, if you want to get succeed in life, this is a basic guide for that. And people were saying like, without reading this book, you definitely gonna get graduated. These are the things they were saying about the book. So let's see what's inside in it. Everyone has a dream to achieve in life. They want to get high paid salary, they want to get a car or blah blah blah. Everyone has a dream, right? So For working for that dream, you will definitely have obstacles, and it may be anything else. You may have a doubt how we gonna get out of these obstacles, and we're gonna work for it. Thomas Alva Edison has n number of obstacles and he has failed many times, but still he worked for it and he achieved. So, working for a dream, you may have n number of obstacles, and we all have a common obstacle or a common mistakes we do when we work for our dream. But after completing and working for those obstacles, how we gonna come out and how we gonna succeed. That is what he did over here. You should have a desire for anything. Maybe a desire, just dream for it and make it happen. It can be anything. If you want to get a car or get a house, whatever it may be, dream for it and have a desire. It should be a burning desire, not just a simple thing you can be dream and throw it off. It should be a burning one, and dream for it and work for it. Whatever the obstacles there is, you want to work for it. Like have it in your mind, like for this purpose I want to do that, and I definitely gonna achieve it. So sometimes people may think after having desire, after a few days they will get overwhelmed of it, and they will think, okay, we can't do that, we can move on to next. No, never think like that. Just work for it. Sometimes we used to think like, what if doesn't it happen? We can have an alternative. What if we can't able to go to that position? We can option B. We can be in lower work or something else. No, never have a plan B, plan A, and work for it and just go through it. Never think like it's not going to happen. Just think in your mind, it's definitely going to happen. Sometimes you think like we need millions of crores in our bank account, we want to be a billionaire or something else. Just have it in your mind and imagine you have billions of money and in your bank account. Just imagine, and you should believe that you're gonna achieve it. If you started to believe, definitely gonna happen. If you think like, no, how it gonna happen, how I could get millions and millions of amount in my bank account, no, just think it and have it gonna definitely happen. If you keep on thinking it in your mind, it will definitely gonna happen on one day, and you're gonna work for it throughout till you achieve it. What if Albert Edison and Wright brothers think that what they gonna do if they can't able to do that? We definitely not gonna have those luxury items, right? Someday or in the past, people have dreamt for it and they achieve it. That those things were being used by us till now as a luxury products, right? So if you dream for it and if you're gonna do that and you have that burning desire to work for it, you definitely gonna achieve it. If you're gonna achieve something, or else you have a desire on something, first you should believe that you're gonna achieve it. So after you believe that, your subconscious mind also believe that you're gonna do that, and it will make a way for it, and it's gonna give you opportunities and make you to do that. If you have if you don't think about like, no, I have an option B, what if I don't do that or something else, your subconscious mind also be like that, and it is not gonna help you to work it out. First believe that it's gonna happen, and it definitely gonna happen, and it makes way in your inner self itself. Say it in your inner mind like it's gonna happen, it's gonna happen, it's gonna happen. But people may think you are a loser or something else, but one point of time your inner self will have a faith on it, and you will definitely gonna work for it. And like, it not will be a sentence which you have in your mind, it will be a desire for you, and you will definitely gonna work for it. Like your mind will automatically remind you like, you have this desire, work for it, you have this desire, work for it. Like that, it gonna remind you all the time. So for this, he gave an example for Jim Carrey. What he did now, he just take a blank check and wrote a amount of 20 million or something else, and he wrote and he write a date like he gonna get this amount for his acting skill on this particular date, and he kept this blank check wherever he see, like it is in his hall, living room, or wherever he see, he kept that check. One point of time, what the subconscious mind did is it helps him to take steps for that without his knowledge. He made steps to get that amount. What finally happened is, on that particular date, he gets the amount in his bank, not the amount he wrote, more than the amount he wrote in the check he had in his bank account. This is something your inner self helps you to do once you made a faith in it. So what you do is, just whatever the desire may be, write it in a paper and keep it wherever you see it. Maybe anything else, it may be a small thing or a big one you desire for, write it and keep it wherever you see, and it's definitely gonna happen one day. So this is the first step to succeed. If for example, if you want to become a businessman, so you just write it in a paper like this person is a billionaire or a entrepreneur, and write it over it in the paper and keep it. So writing form is the first step to succeed for your life. In an interview, people were asked certain questions to Henry Ford about general knowledge. For a certain question, he said like, I don't know about that, I don't know answer for that question. These kinds of answers he keep on saying. People started to laugh, and they asked like, what you are saying? You are a person who were like on the top, and you don't even know answer for these questions. What Henry Ford replied is, we're not gonna get knowledge about all the fields and everything. Once we gonna search knowledge and we're gonna read many things, we definitely, like what to say, in Tamil a word like எல்லாத்துலயும் கத்துக்க முடியாது. That word is name. You can't get knowledge about everything, but certain point there will be thing you don't know, right? So what is, if you want to know about a certain thing, you just have the contact of the specialized person. That's enough. You get specialized in your profession. That's more than enough. You just want to get the contact of people of various professions. They might help you later. That's enough for it. Suppose you are facing many failures, means why don't you face those kind of failures if you work in a correct way? Okay, what are the steps you want to take, and what are the factors that determine your success, and how the main thing is how you're going to choose your life partner for your success, and what are the stages you're going to get succeeded once you started to work. Those are the things have been in this book. So I think this book is something beyond, I think. So all about this book is more useful, so just read for it.
Hi guys, this is Nasim. Now I am here to talk about one interesting book. That book name was How to Win Friends and Influence People, and the author name was Dale Carnegie. I think this book was very interesting I ever read in my life. There are lots of things in I learnt about this book. How to mingle with friends and how to make influence with people. This is a very interesting book, I think. Definitely you also read that book. And the author was lots of things shared about this book. Now I will this author was wrote about 25 rules on this book. Now I will speak about only 5 important rules I will explain, okay? And the first rule was encouraging instead of complaints. While you working in the company, you assume some work in your batchmate. That person was not didn't very well in this work. You didn't ask any scroll, and you don't harshly say anything. You will encouraging that person. Last time you did very well why what happened in now that time, that type of questions you ask, but you don't scroll it. Okay, why? Because they have some personal vengeance, and another next time you give some work, and that time you didn't work at all. That's why I'm saying, and then for example, this rule, while you got a married, your wife was uh, uh, not cooking very well. You don't say this cook was so bad. Why you are cooking this type of food? You don't say that. You just say. Last time you did one cook na that food was very well, very nice. Why you why this time, what is happening this time? Now that type of it is the reverse technology. This and all do in one apply in director apply to actor, and mother to feed on his child. This and all reverse technology, while you are attracting and encouraging these people. And then second rule was encouraging the people, and the second rule was encouraging to other staff. While you want to make good relationship with others, some friendship, you want to do something. For example, you want to ask his habit and whatever you are doing in your past, and then you first encouraging other stuff. Okay, and then you will go on getting that relationship. And then first we will respect on our thoughts and our habits first, and other stuff. Okay, this and all I will learn in this book. And then now we will be coming with third rule. That this is a very important rule. Why? Because this nowadays lots of members having this problem. Why I am asking now? I was really interesting about this topic, and then this topic was conflict. There are lots of members having a conflict. First, we will give some respect from others, and respect from our other thoughts, and then we will comparing with our areas, and finally you give the genuine response from others, and then the conflict was closed, and the relationship was still going on. And then we will coming up the fourth rule. And the fourth rule was make the other person feel his importance. Literally appreciate from others. Okay, there are a lot of members living only doing very well in their recognition only. You will give some recognition from others. They will work a lot and hard work, and they give your personally you were mentor also. First you will give some recognition from others for only hard workers and smart workers in improving your business also. And now we will coming in final fifth rule. This is important rule of I learned because of while the organization gives some work in, you are the leader in this project. You ask suggestions from your team employees. You respect their ideas, and first you will ask some questions and about that plan and suggestions also, and then they will give some questions and suggestions. First you analyze and proper These and all proper plan ideas, you will arise. And then you was said, your plan was nice, but I have one better idea. Now we will hear and the type of you can hear me, okay, the type of better words calm, you can use that, okay. uh, that's why the team was properly going on, and the plan also perfectly finished, okay. And last, what I was learned in this book, the, in your life, not only just 15 percentage only your professional knowledge, 80 percentage also how to express your plan, and how to build your network, and how to make your friends in your life, and then how to influence with peoples also. This is very important nowadays in our professional life. Thank you to all.
Good afternoon. My presentation book is I Have a Dream. I really like this book. It was so overwhelming to read a piece of work only based on the social service many people have undertaken. This book carry interviews of idealists who have decided to make a change in the world we live in. Some of them have take social service and business and make profit of applying management principle in it. Some of them belongs to regular class and social workers, and yet some other are monks who live in the path of spirituality. Reading these books was a very humble experience to learn that these people as very ordinary people like us, and they took the oath of meaning a changing in the world and decide to so within without a destination. It actually made me contemplate on what I am doing with my life. I have a dream. I have a dream who think and act like a entrepreneurs. They are committed to different causes, but they have only one thing is common. They believe that principle of management can be must be used to achieve a great common good. This story says one thing louder and clear. Change starts with one person, and the person could be someone next door, someone like you. The book chronicles living the 20 idealists who took step forward, bring happiness in the living of people, but not in the usually charitable way. They took the ideal of business complete profit motive and turned them into a tool of betterment of the society. They are all what can be termed as social entrepreneurs. A belief the principle of management can must be used to achieve a great common good. These stories say one thing, loud and clear. Change starts with one person, and the person could be someone next door, and the someone's like you. The book is divided into three sections: rainmakers, change makers, and spiritual capitalists. Rainmakers is about social entrepreneurs which generated revenue but where profit is not primarily motive. The session is as some very interesting story behind the entrepreneurs which have taken the objectives of doing good and build a successful business around. Change makers is about people who took small steps toward their dreams, which became a revolution itself. Spiritual capitalists are stories of individuals who are guided by supreme purpose in their mission to do good. I think that Rashmi Bansal as right as if she was transcribing her interview with the people. Some of the stories have too many details which sometimes lost me completely. In the conclusion, the book to anyone, whether interest to social entrepreneurship, because the book shows that everyone has the power to take up cause make the world better place living. Thank you for the opportunity to give me.